Well, no, I'm saying it's not, we weren't in my trailer. We were on the set with 50 people and cameras.
Is that your excuse too?
Well, no, Charlize, I'm a heterosexual man. And that was my problem. Without the wig, you just read mail.
Ever struck up a conversation with someone who's able to beautifully articulate a random observation at supersonic speed? Wit. We've all heard that word, but more importantly, we all know how it makes us feel. It's an attribute commonly associated with comedians, wordsmiths, even rappers. There's Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, Lee Mack, Josh Johnson, to name a few. But if I asked you who the wittiest woman to ever do it was, what answer would you give me? The unfortunate truth is that a lot of people consider women to be humorless. You only need to scroll through the comment section of any female comedy video on YouTube to understand what I'm talking about. While Amy Schumer is one of the most successful female comedians out there, she is consistently demonized for being awful and at times even being a joke thief. It's 2023 and it's hard out there for female comedians, but this wasn't always the case. There was a time when female comedians and television personalities were respected, and rightfully so. One of these women is, to me, probably the wittiest chick I've ever had the pleasure of hearing. While she wasn't an outright comedian, her legendary retorts and comebacks have cemented her legacy as one of the GOATs of classic television, and she goes by the name of Arlene Francis.
Well, thank you very much.
Arlene Francis was born in 1907 in Boston, a city that has produced some of the finest stand-up comedians of recent memory. Her father, Aram Kazanjian, was Armenian who studied art in Paris before later turning his attention to photography. His affinity for art no doubt played a major influence on Arlene down the road. Francis would later attend Finch College, an undergraduate women's college in Manhattan, before turning her attention to the stage, radio, and eventually television. She was the host of Blind Date in 1943, which would later become a readapted mainstay on British television, hosted by national treasure Cilla Black.
And here is your host, Miss Cilla Black.
And later What's My Line in 1950. Arlene's witty replies as a panelist on the famous game show is undoubtedly what people remember the most when they think about her.
Could you work your magic on me, whatever it is that you... Could we do it here on the stage?
I have a terrible question to ask you. Do you swallow it?
Yes.
Jolly good. Let's swallow it. Let's not chew it. Let's not suck it. Let's just get it down.
Does it go around? Could it go around? Well, you're wondering when I'm going to ask you what it goes around, aren't you? Would it hit anything between the waist and the knees?
Yes. Would it hit everything between?
But of course, you cannot talk about Arlene's wit without talking about that golden voice. Delivery is everything. Just ask any comedian or rapper.
When someone tells me a joke, I find it a nerve-wracking experience. When someone's like, hey, hold on, man, you're gonna like this. It's a way that I don't enjoy experiencing comedy. I like comedy to surprise me, and I like it when people say something and you're like, oh my God, that was so funny that you just said that. But when someone's like says, you know, okay, I got a joke for you. Hang on, here we go. You know, a dog, an onion, and a robot are in a bar. Chocolate syrup comes through the door.
When it comes to matters of the voice, intonation is everything.
Yeah. I mean, your ass. She was like.
Arlene always spoke in a very clear, concise manner. She articulated words perfectly and spoke with unwavering confidence.
Mr. Aspirin, do you work with your hands in your job?
Not aspirin, dear. Aspirin.
But after Mr. Asper gets through with you, you may all need aspirin. That's different.
To me, Arlene's voice is what I imagine when I think about old black and white shows from the 50s, but the truth is that even back then, her voice was spectacular and unique.
What did you retire from?
I have been in the Navy.
Really? How long?
33 years.
Think you'll get a steady job next time?
I'm going to try.
There was an elegance about her. She was well-spoken, but she had a great sense of humor and a wonderful sense of warmth.
We have this photograph here of my mother as radio's oomph girl because of her voice and how effectively she could get her qualities across the airwaves.
Until then, this is Arlene Francis saying good night.
And when you package a perfect voice, copious amounts of charisma, and a charming personality, you're onto a winning formula. Just ask Dave Chappelle.
I want that purple stuff. That's drink, nigga. That is drink.
It wasn't just her voice and wit though. Even though Arlene wasn't a stand-up comedian, she had mastered the art of callbacks, something every comedian must learn in order to prosper.
Ask if you're familiar with our scoring system, are you?
Have you ever been in one of our homes?
Yes.
Getting older every minute.
Are you in the world of entertainment? Mr. Bendick?
Your father's back, Dorothy.
Her comebacks not only had the rest of the panelists laughing, but also the audience too. Anyone who's ever been on stage knows that once you win over the crowd, you're pretty much home free. Audience laughter is what every entertainer craves. Bill Burr and even Adam Sandler have touched on this very thing.
I guess I just wanted people to like me. Maybe that was it. I said I didn't care if, I just kind of wanted to get an opportunity, go on stage, be in front of cameras, that kind of stuff. I don't know why. I was kind of like dying for that to happen.
Arlene's comedic talent didn't just stop at callbacks either. She was able to set people up for their layup, or in other words, she was able to allow other people to take center stage no matter how peculiar.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you work indoors, Mrs. Sheridan?
Sometimes.
You just can do it both ways no matter what happens. Mahoney.
Oh, thank you for those kind words, my dear.
Oh, it was nothing. Are you going to stay here all night?
You know, you're not too young to go steady. Kiss me. Timber!
I want to tell you, you look so marvelous in this new formal.
Oh, thank you. You know, the reason I'm wearing a tuxedo was because I mean, the last time I was here, I was wearing the sweater, and this, oh, please, Arlene, I'm only human. Don't look at me.
When God made a tree and then he thought of you, I think it was a wonderful idea.
Oh, Arlene, you're so beautiful, but take it easy, will you? I just can't.
Arlene Francis was a brilliant woman. While she was not a traditional comedian in the vein of Carol Burnett, she was very funny in her own right. She held her own on a panel full of men, apart from Dorothy Kilgallen, of course, and she did it with pure, unadulterated charm. Women are funny, and they always have been. We merely need to scroll a few chapters back in time to see. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more vids like this. Until next time.
And Martin, come home, all is forgiven.